Hey, how's everybody going? Ninja Nick here with another video. Today we're going to show you how to do kitchen counters. And we're going to start off by showing you why this one actually needs replaced, or why you would even replace them. Maybe you're just updating your house. Who knows? This one, the counter is damaged. So let's show you. Okay, so as you can see, this countertop looks like it's messed up. Okay. And to see, this is the problem that they came to me with, is the sink will not sit in. At first you think maybe the hole's not cut out right. It goes in, as you see, but it does not sit all the way down. And that's because the countertop is warped and water damaged. That's what all these bubbles and stuff is for. Like you got bubbles, like you can see it. It bubbles up. It's all water damaged. So this whole countertop is all damaged. So, and the reason, and the main reason it won't sit flush, is because of this. It's warped. The whole countertop. Then they didn't set the countertop on the cabinets like they should have. Okay. Why? I don't know. They just didn't. But that's a problem. So I got to rip all this out and replace the countertops. I have not gone and got the new ones. This owner just wants a cheap countertop put on there. Which, okay, if you update in your house, maybe you want to go with marble. And if you do, they'll come in and measure. But if you don't, you want to take a tape measure, just like this. This is my cheap one. And you want to measure your countertops from end to end, which mine come out to be, I think it's 9 foot, just over 9 foot 6 inches apparently. I swear I measured 10 foot, but okay. I don't know where I got the 10 foot at, but okay. See, this is why you always double check your measurements, because I wrote down 10 foot 2. And this one comes out to be 5 foot 2. So we need a 10 foot counter and a 5 foot or 6 foot counter, which I believe both the Home Depot sells both of those. But we got to tear this out. So that means I got to clear this counter and rip this counter off. Sometimes they screw in. Sometimes they just glue them down. I usually glue them down because we always be installing like marble counters or granite countertops and stuff like that. Give me a few minutes. I'll get these countertops off, show you how to prep the cabinets, and then we'll go to the store and get our new countertops. And I'll show you how to do them. They come, you can get ones that are already cut at 45s, which is great, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing here. But if not, and you need to cut a 45, I will show you how to measure it. So this way you can cut your counters perfect. It helps because you want a seamless thing like this, for instance. Let me get this out of here, which they'd actually laminated these after they put the countertops on. You want a seamless look like this, almost. How this looks. I mean, it's pretty seamless, but you can tell where the seam is if you're looking. So it's not a bad seam there, okay? That's what you're going for. Now, you could do the cheap route and just caulk it afterwards, which you want to caulk seams anyway, because you don't want water getting down in there. Because if you're going with a particle board like this is, a cheap countertop, it's just a piece of wood with a laminate over top, which is good if you're going for cheap or you're just doing a rental. A lot of rental places do that, and that's what this is going to end up being, is a rental place. So let me get off here, and I will get this countertop ripped up. like I said, I got one hand. If I can do it, you can sure as heck do it. See you guys in a few minutes. Okay, so I have the countertop removed. Now, I asked the customer if they wanted to replace the cabinets. They said no. I said, okay, that's up to you. Yeah, and I know you probably see the one broken in the corner. They don't want to replace it, so I can't force them. But if your cabinets look like this, you should probably replace them. Now, this is another no-no. Never put something in between the counter and the cabinet, okay? For one, it's just going to bust this line. This is a water line to a fridge. Why? I don't know, but they decided to run it on top of the cabinets into the fridge. I'm guessing they had the fridge right here. I don't know. But you never want to put something between the cabinet and the thing that can be crushed. Especially a water line, you're just going to create a leak. So now I have to go pick up the new cabinets. So we will see when we get back. Give me a few minutes and I'll be right back to you with the video. That's the old sink that was in there before. Goes right there. I ripped it out of the cabinet, or the countertop, I'm sorry. But yes. Oh, it was actually screwed down. Wasn't screwed down very good, let me tell you. It wasn't even tight. That's because of all the water damage. Well, I'll be back with the countertops. Okay, so we are back from the store. We got these two lovely pieces. Cost about $422 for all of it. And that includes the little bolt kit that you need to get. These, which I've already installed one. As you see, it's right there. That's how they go into the grooves underneath the countertop. And that's how you're gonna get them together. And that'll bring them close to where you have barely any of a line. As you see, this is a factory cut. This is not my cuts, okay? Which my factory is off a little bit. That's okay. We will get it. Next, I will bolt this completely together, and then we'll show you how to cut the ends. As you see, they are too long. They ain't too long, but that's okay. You want them a little longer so you can cut them to fit. As you see, I'm long on both sides, and then we'll cut out where the sink goes. And then we will be done. For this, I'm going to glue them down. Now, you can screw them down, but I don't, because these things are not worth a crap. Okay? I don't feel they are strong enough to hold. So what I do is I put glue on top of the whole countertop, or not the countertop, the cabinets, outlining the cabinets of everywhere the countertop touches, and then we'll set the counter on top of it. And that'll hold it. So let me get these screwed together, and then we'll make it one big countertop. And from there, we'll go and we'll put it on the actual cabinets and glue it down, and then we'll cut out what we need. All right, give me a minute. Okay, so we have the countertop screwed together. It's bolted with this miter bolt kit. I showed you the bolts earlier. I went ahead and marked out where my counters are, which, yes, the line is crooked, but so is the cabinets. So that's where it's getting cut. On both sides, if I quit tripping over stuff. So I've got them marked out. I'm going to put my level up there, and we're going to draw a straight line. And we'll get these ends cut off, because you don't want to leave that much overhang, okay? That's a little ridiculous on the overhang. And not to mention it's going to interfere with their stove, which, by the way, those are out of date, but they're not paying me to do that. So we're not worried about that today. But yes, so I will get these cut, and then we'll glue this countertop down with our power grab here. Glue it right to the counter, right to the cabinets, and then we'll mark out for our sink, which is right where my bag and screwdriver and stuff are. And we'll get that installed. All right, see you in a few minutes. Okay, so I have gone ahead and cut off the ends of the counters to make them even. I know it looks like my counter's cut, but it's not. It's actually the cabinet. Same with this side. It looks crooked, but it's actually the cabinet. You either want to cut it flush or leave a little overhang like I did. You don't want much of an overhang. And I went ahead and marked out my markings for my sink. Now what I do for these sinks is they got the grooves, okay? Those grooves have got to sit inside the counter. Those grooves. Now these corners, I feel like you can leave the extra support. You can leave a little bit. Just make sure it clears. Because the grooves don't go all the way to the edge of the sink. But these bolts is what locks your sink down. I mean, you always want to caulk them afterwards. But we'll get to that. But yes, I went out ahead and marked out my grooves. Where they fall on the sink, that's what all these lines are. Like this whole thing is actually where the sink's going to sit. But these lines is where my grooves are. So that makes, I either gotta get this cut out right along here, along this blue lines. That's what those are. Now that big thick line is what I have to cut out for the back of the sink to sit on. So fun there. But yes. Okay, so give me a few minutes. I'll have this cut out. We'll show you how to drop it in. First things first, I want to glue this countertop in place. For the sole reason is once you cut that out, that section will be weaker than the rest of the counter. And I don't want to be putting extra pressure on it. I'd rather glue it down now and then cut it out. Because my cuts is not going to hit the cabinets. Well, if you cut straight, it won't hit the cabinets. Let me rephrase that. Now, I'm using a regular saw to do this. You can use a jigsaw. It's probably easier and more maneuverable than a saw is. But what I'll do is I'll leave it to where there's enough of a room. I'll stop my saw right about here and then sawzall it over here. So I'll end up cutting this out, then this, and then drop my saw down along there up to here. Cut this section out, then come down and cut that section out. But I'll leave these little corners. I might round them out a little bit, but I'll leave these little corners for the sink edge to grab and give it extra support. So this way, because I don't know about you guys, but I feel uneasy the fact that sinks only sit on like a 1/4 inch of counter space and then the rest just sits in free air. I don't like that. I feel like that's not enough, but that's just me. All right, well, let me get to cutting and I'll see you guys in a few minutes here. Okay, so I've gone ahead and glued it down to the cabinets. Now, this glue will take about 24 hours to dry, which, as you can see, may want to set something on that. These cabinets are not even, so get that off there. But now I'm going to go ahead and cut out the sink. Now that the counter is glued to the cabinets, we'll go ahead and cut this out. Get that out of my way. But first I'll make a blue line down the middle of these, so this way I have something to follow. So let me get this taped out, and we'll get this cut. All right, see you in a minute. Went ahead and made blue lines inside my things, which the inside of these lines, get out of there. They exterminated yesterday, so I got dead roaches everywhere. Yeah, gotta love that. Anyway, inside these blue lines is my marks. Well, actually, this one's on the outside, but for some reason. I don't know why I did that, but I did. But the inside of these ones, oh, it's the outside on this one too. Okay, so apparently all of them's on the outside except for this one. No. Yes. This one, for some reason, is on the inside. I don't know why I did that. I'm a genius, apparently. But this will cut to the ends of these. And that'll leave you your little overhangs. And then we'll mark out which ones need cut out for you to leave this little corner here, which you'll connect right there, like right here. Connect this line to this line, and that'll leave you your little overhang, and you cut it out to these marks, which is the outer edges of your sink braces, and that'll leave you little corners for each of your sink to sit on, along with the little lip that they got. When I'm done, it'll make a lot more sense. Right now, it just looks like I'm drawing funny boxes on a countertop. It'll make sense when I'm done. All right, let me cut this out. Okay, so the first square has been cut off. I took the tape off of my other lines, so you can see that my lines, it cuts out to be straight. Oh, well, semi-straight. I mean, that's what the line came out to be, but that's okay. Next, we'll cut out these little sections between the lines here, here, and this whole piece will be cut out. And then we'll cut this at a 45 between this line and this line on each of the corners. And that'll give you your extra support for your corners on your sink. At least in my opinion. You know, I think it would be grateful to have extra support there because, you know, I worry the sink's going to fall in. I know they're sturdy. I know they're meant to be like that. It's just peace of mind. It's the way I do it. Because if I don't feel confident, then how can I expect the customer to feel confident? But yes, so next I'm going to cut out these little sections. You'll see look like two big squares have been cut out. Or rectangles, whatever you want to call them. You get what I'm saying. So we'll get that done. Okay, so I got them cut out. As you see, there's 4 little corners that I didn't cut out. Well, those are my extra supports. Now we'll see what we gotta trim up because it may not fit exactly, but we're about to see. So we're gonna drop our sink in and see if she fits in nicely. Or do I gotta do a little bit of shaving? So give me a second here and I will show you it fitted in. And there she is, ladies and gentlemen. Now remember, this is not actually screwed down. This is just sitting in there. So, I mean, I'll pull it out so you can see, but as you can see, I just lifted it up right out of the hole. But my 4 corners, because I still got to remove the tape. And there you be. That's how you cut out for a sink. And then you got to get all that trash out of there, yeah. So, Oh, and the last thing, just so everybody knows, I don't remember if I showed it. These actually go on the bottom of these screws. And then you twist the screw with a screwdriver counterclockwise to tighten it and clockwise to loosen it. Oh, not like that. That's where my pen went. Because you always want this end going towards the countertop, so it's going to go like this. If I can get it on there, because they like to move a lot. And you can put these wherever. I usually do 2 to 3 per side. But as you see, it's counterclockwise. You take a screwdriver, it's got a flat head on it. Oh, might help if I show you. And it'll screw it up. And it'll bite down on the countertop. And it'll hold the sink in place. But I'm going to end up doing 2 on each side. I may go to the store and go get a couple more because I want to make sure the sink's held down good. But yes, you want 2 on each side at least. So I'll end up putting that one over there. And then screwing them all down in there. And there you go. That's how you install your countertops. All right. So there is the finished countertop. Looks a heck of a lot better than what it did before we started. I mean, she's dirty, but she's done. My sink's a little warped, unfortunately. But there's nothing I can do about that. It looks beautiful. So there you are. Brand new countertops. Till next video, you guys, make sure you join the channel. I will be doing other things, show you how to do them, maybe the easy way. And like I said, I have one hand and I can do this. So if I can do it, and I did this by myself, I had no help. Helps a lot if you got a second person to help you. Well, let me tell you. Okay, that's why it's taking me so long to do this. I mean, you guys see it in about 30 minutes, but in reality, it's taking me like 4 hours, okay, to do this by myself. So, it helps if you have someone to help you. But yes, make sure you like, subscribe, and if you have an idea for another video, or you want to know how to do something, leave me a comment. I read them. And I'll see about getting to do that. I mean, whatever you want to know about how to do, just let me know. Till the next video.